I don't understand. I mean, you know, the millions of dollars that they have just wasted on me for no reason. Just let me take a lie detector test. Let me take a polygraph. You go in my house every day, you haven't found a can of beer in my house, not even a cigarette butt, but you continue to go in my house every day, destroy my property. My name is Everton Brown, and I've been victimized and violated for more than 7 years by the Federal Bureau of Investigation for absolutely no reason. It goes in my house each and every day. Quick truck!
What's the address of the emergency?
Something is going on. I see a man standing in the door post with a weapon in his hand.
This is 56-year-old Everton Brown, who had a YouTube channel where he documented his schizophrenic delusions and would eventually go on to carry out a violent attack, killing 3 of his neighbors before setting fire to their townhomes, causing a massive explosion in a quiet Baltimore County neighborhood. According to the people that knew him, he was a normal, peaceful neighbor that lived alone and often spent time helping and talking with neighbors. But sometime during the early 2000s, his behavior changed dramatically.
So you're out here because?
I'm out here because I want to.
Okay. All right, do you have your ID with you?
Yeah, I have ID with me. The terror continues, that's what it is. The terror continues because I'm a black man. Because I'm a black man violated by the system. Here you are.
Thank you.
My name is Everton Brown, and I've been victimized and violated for more than 7 years by the Federal Bureau of Investigation for absolutely no reason. It goes in my house each and every day. Each and every day, goes in my vehicle each and every day. Only because I'm a black man. When a black man owns property, he's a criminal. When a white man owns property, he have worked hard, followed the rules.
If you want to stand here, that's fine. You just got to park your car legally, all right?
Park my car illegally? I understand how it is. It's just another way of trying to victimize another black man because you don't want me to speak out. You don't want me to speak out, so you try to suppress my voice in any way and every way you can.
Constitutional representatives.
Talk to my constitutional representative?
Yeah.
They can't do nothing for they don't make the law.
He started accusing the FBI, CIA, local police, and eventually even his own neighbors of conspiring against him. According to neighbors, Everton was becoming increasingly hostile, suspicious, and obsessed with the belief that he was constantly being watched and targeted. Residents made repeated complaints to police over the span of 20 years, but nothing was done.
It's not like we haven't been saying nothing. We've been saying something for 20 years. 20 years! And it was never nothing done.
The online documentation of his delusions began on November 27, 2009, when he uploaded his first YouTube video. In it, he's seen standing outside the White House with a megaphone, publicly calling for help from President Obama.
I'm asking you, Mr. President, not to put an end to the investigation, but to stop them from coming in my home. Stop violating my home and slowly destroy my property. And I'm begging for your assistance, Mr. President.
As time went on, Everton's mental state appeared to worsen as he began uploading videos of aircrafts in the sky at night, claiming they were U.S. government drones sent to spy on him.
Is that military issue? Come on, baby. That's all military there, baby. Right, but you blinking. Right over the Walmart sign. Right over the Walmart sign, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Tell me that ain't taking millions and millions of America's money to do this, man. To terrorize me, man. All this following, hey, it wouldn't bother me if you wasn't going in my house, in my vehicle, and just terrorizing me, man. Poking stuff when I buy this stuff out of Walmart. You gonna poke stuff in it as soon as I leave it alone. That's where my problem come in. You following me around is bad, but really nothing, no kind of issue that you can't get around. It's the terror. When I walk in Walmart and they already know, you already talked about me and say this and whatever you saying, because today I'm gonna pull them up. You fuckers. Look at this, man. I'm sorry, man. Look at this.
I want to pause here for a second and explain just how disturbing all of this really is. You have to remember that this man went on to murder 3 of his neighbors because he believed they were a part of a conspiracy against him. And looking at these videos now, it's insane he was allowed to own a gun in the first place.
They're saying there's a neighbor outside shooting. Police confirming active shooter.
Police say that Brown had 2 legally registered weapons. One was confiscated by authorities a few years back, but he still did have one with him. They are looking into any encounters and calls they had regarding Mr. Brown.
In 2010, Everton purchased the gun he used in the killing, and that was after he was already showing signs of severe paranoid schizophrenia. Knowing how this story ends, it's shocking seeing all the warning signs in his videos. One of the best examples comes from a video where a snowplow clears a parking space in front of his home. Rather than seeing it as routine maintenance, he became convinced it was an FBI coordinated effort against him.
This is the front of my home before the snow came. Tell me, is this criminal? The front end loader is shoveling snow up on my sidewalk and on the front of my home, on the front of my property, on my steps. Is that justice? That's the FBI at work. That's the FBI's justice. When an individual has been targeted for 8 years for absolutely no reason, throws a complete bucket of snow on the front of my property, on my steps, on my sidewalk, that should be criminal. That should hold a penalty.
In 2016, Brown entered a Sam's Club carrying several bags that he claimed contained his personal belongings. After finishing his shopping and attempting to leave the store, he was stopped by security, who wanted to inspect the bags. Brown refused to unlock them, leading to an argument with store employees. As a result, he was issued a trespass notice and banned from the property.
Check your bag also. No, I'm not permitting you to check my bag when I came in. You are being recorded. I'm just letting you know now. Okay. When I came in, I asked the young man if he was going to check my bag, if I would have a problem with my bag, and he said no. He said go ahead and go on. And this is my pocketbook with my dildo, my condoms, my personal, my deodorant, everything. My credit cards, my license. And it has locks on it. The bag was locked when I came in, and I don't have a key.
You don't have a key?
No, the bag was locked when I came in, and it's locked now when I'm going out. Everything I have a lock on it. It's not only locked, it's wired shut.
But the incident didn't end there. Just a few months later, Brown returned to the same store despite being trespassed, resulting in yet another confrontation. By this point, encounters like these had become a recurring pattern, with Brown increasingly viewing ordinary interactions as evidence that he was being targeted and harassed.
I'm in Dayton, New Jersey at my first stop. I'm a truck driver. And I'm in Dayton, New Jersey, and every day there are numerous drones. I mean, as soon as I hit New Jersey, I don't know what it is.
Brown worked as a truck driver, but after he was fired, his behavior seemed to spiral further. He started protesting outside his former employer with homemade signs, resulting in yet another police encounter.
You want to do that?
You used to work here?
Yeah, I used to work here.
So what, you got fired?
Yeah, they fired me for that sign sitting over there. It was on my truck. It said I can't breathe. So he pulled me in his office and he asked me what I can't breathe mean. I said it's self-explanatory, and he fired me. 7 years! 7 years I have been terrorized by the system, by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and Estes Express. Estes Express, you want to assist the FBI to terrorize me? All I'm doing is invoking my First Amendment right.
Everton had accumulated more than 3 decades of interactions with law enforcement. Records show he personally called 911 at least 120 times over a 24-year period, telling them that federal agents were breaking into his home and spying on him. Between 2008 and 2021, neighbors successfully obtained 3 separate peace orders against him, and mental health outreach officers also had multiple direct interactions with Brown over the years. Yet despite all of the repeated police contacts, the peace orders, the complaints from neighbors, and the mental health interventions, Brown was still legally able to own a firearm. In a video titled "Cruelty or Justice," Brown filmed his dog suffering from diarrhea and somehow blamed it on the FBI. By that point, nearly every negative event in his life had become connected in his mind to the federal government.
This is my dog. This is what the FBI does. I'm trying to get a good shot. It's dark. I got the lights out. I'm trying to get a shot. Look at this here. Look. You see that? See that? Is that justice? That's the FBI at work.
and it would be the final video he would ever upload to his channel. Because on May 8th, 2021, he went on to commit the deadly attack.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
Something is going on. It jarred me out of bed. Somebody banging in somebody's front door, and then I just heard 3 gunshots. I see a man standing in the door post with a weapon in his hand, and I don't know what he did to get in there because it jarred me out of bed, and I'm about 3 or 4 doors down.
In the early morning hours, Brown set fire to his own townhouse before emerging outside armed with a handgun. As terrified neighbors came outside trying to understand what was happening, Brown opened fire. According to investigators, he then forced his way into the Quintanilla family home. That's when Ismail Quintanilla was attacked and stabbed to death by Brown. He then proceeded to chase his wife Sarah Quintanilla out the house and shot her multiple times, killing her in the street right outside her home. During the chaos, 24-year-old Sagar Gamir, who was a recent college graduate that had moved into the neighborhood just days earlier, attempted to help and was also shot and killed. Police arrived within minutes of the attack and immediately encountered Brown armed with a handgun.
26, shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. Drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun! Okay. 26, shots fired, subject down.
10-4, shots fired, subject down. 46,
Maury and Kelly's. One subject down. He still got the gun, He still got the gun! Down! Gun next to him! Gun on the ground! Come here! I got her. Watch her. Hold on. Over.
In the aftermath of the tragedy, investigators discovered multiple homemade explosive devices belonging to Everton. He was critically wounded in the shootout with police and died in an ambulance while being transported to the hospital, bringing this disturbing case to an end. Now, all that's left are the unsettling videos he uploaded to his YouTube channel, where it will forever stay on the dark side of YouTube.
Send whatever you saying, cause today I'm gonna pull them up. Fuckers.
In this episode, I'm showing you how to make a 3D layered shadow box with the help of a Cricut cutting machine. So let's get crafty. Hey, I'm Michael. This is Mr. Crafty Pants, and
this is 39-year-old Michael David Booth, who ran a popular YouTube channel called Mr. Crafty Pants, which reached nearly 600,000 subscribers at its peak. Over the years, he uploaded hundreds of videos teaching viewers how to complete a wide range of arts and craft projects. From DIY birthday cards and custom t-shirts to felt animals and holiday decorations, the channel focused on family-friendly tutorials designed to make crafting fun and accessible. The channel grew rapidly, with new videos appearing on a regular basis, and nothing about the content appeared unusual. In fact, it was the kind of channel many parents felt comfortable letting their children watch for hours.
I freaking love this, y'all. Like, it's so freaking good. Again, there was nothing quite like this on the market. Like, check this out. Like, all the glitter plus that pearlescent, like, electric HTV in the middle. It's too good. Like, it's just.
He lived in a quiet, family-filled neighborhood in Kentucky. The kind of place where neighbors knew each other and children played outside. To the people around him, Michael Booth appeared completely ordinary. Neighbors described him as friendly, polite, and unassuming. There was, however, one detail that a few neighbors would later remember. Michael had a Halloween sign in his yard that read, "I smell children," which everyone assumed was just a harmless joke for the trick-or-treaters. But in October 2025, Michael David Booth's life and the trust many families had placed in him would change dramatically. The investigation began 2 months earlier, in August 2025, when authorities received a report regarding a Kik messaging account that had allegedly been sharing illegal files. Investigators traced the account and the associated IP address. According to authorities, both led to Michael David Booth. On October 22, 2025, police executed a search of Booth's home in Kentucky. During that search, investigators reported finding 6 illegal files on his computer. 3 of those files depicted children under the age of 12, while the other 3 depicted minors under the age of 18.
He has a huge online following, more than 500,000 YouTube subscribers, and more than 250,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram combined. We spoke to some of his neighbors in Norton Commons today. They tell us seeing him get arrested on child charges has been a wake-up call for them.
Scary part is, you feel like you know your neighbors, and then what goes on behind closed doors, I guess we never know. But like I said, it's sickening, it's disgusting, and I'm glad that he got caught for it.
Authorities further alleged that Booth had not only possessed the files, but had also repeatedly shared them online. Investigators stated that the files involving younger children had been distributed at least 12 times, while the files involving older minors had been distributed at least 15 times. As a result, Michael David Booth was charged with 29 felony counts related to the possession and distribution of CSAM. At the time of reporting, Booth remained in custody at the Louisville Metro Department of Corrections. Court records show that if he were to post the $100,000 cash bond, he would be subject to strict release conditions, including home incarceration, a total ban on internet and social media use, and 0 contact with minors. Following his arrest, the Mr. Crafty Pants YouTube channel was terminated and removed from the platform.
Police in the Bronx are baffled at the murder of a teenage girl. Her body was found in a dumpster several days after she disappeared. Sandra Bookman is following the investigation. She joins us now live. Sandra.
Roz, that young girl has been identified as 13-year-old.
Jupiter Joe's tries to incorporate all different types of astronomy outreach. So when you have kids...
This is Joseph Martinez, known online as Jupiter Joe, who ran a YouTube channel where he demonstrated basic astronomy and recorded public telescope sessions in New York City. Children, parents, and curious people passing by would gather around as he pointed out planets, constellations, and distant objects in the sky. His content mainly consisted of stargazing footage, astronomy equipment reviews, and close-ups of the moon and solar eclipses.
Oh my God!
That was short. Also, if you're using a telescope, guys might want to make sure that you have proper filtration on your telescope. If you want something like that.
Martinez always appeared friendly and enthusiastic when teaching astronomy, earning a reputation as a community educator who wanted to share his passion with others. On his website, he wrote about when he was a child, he dreamed of exploring space and learning everything he could about the solar system, and his mission, he said, was to inspire fellow New Yorkers, especially children, to take an interest in science and astronomy. For years, parents brought their children to his sidewalk events, and the public trusted him, unaware that behind his friendly persona, he was hiding a very dark secret.
Police in the Bronx are baffled at the murder of a teenage girl. Her body was found in a dumpster several days after she disappeared. Sandra Bookman is following the investigation. She joins us now live. Sandra.
Roz, that young girl has been identified as 13-year-old Minnerly Soriano. Now, police spent much of yesterday looking through the trash at this video store.
On February 24th, 1999, 13-year-old Minnerly Soriano disappeared after leaving school in the Bronx and never returned home. Her disappearance immediately alarmed her family. Friends, neighbors, and investigators searched for answers, but 4 days later, the search ended in tragedy. Minnie's body was discovered inside a dumpster directly behind the Hollywood Video store in the Co-op City section of the Bronx. The medical examiner determined that she had been strangled, and investigators found evidence that she had also been sexually assaulted. The murder shocked the community. Minnie was known as a bright student with big ambitions. Family members described her as creative and thoughtful. She enjoyed writing poetry and dreamed of becoming an astronaut one day. Detectives launched an extensive investigation. Family members, neighbors, building employees, and acquaintances were all questioned. Investigators pursued every lead they could find, but none of them led to a suspect. The most important piece of evidence recovered from the crime was DNA found on Minnie's sweatshirt. However, when investigators searched available databases, there was no match. With no suspect and no new leads, the case eventually went cold. For more than 20 years, Minnie's murder remained unsolved. But then, in 2021, investigators revisited the case using familial DNA analysis, a technique that can identify close relatives of an unknown suspect. The results pointed detectives toward a convicted offender whose DNA was already on file. While investigators ruled him out as the killer, the lead gave them something they had never had before: a family connection. Their focus now shifted to the offender's relatives, one of whom they believed could be responsible for Minnie's murder. They then compared ages, locations, and criminal histories to narrow the list. 2 of the men were ruled out because they had been too young at the time of the murder. That left 3 possible candidates. As investigators dug deeper, one name stood out: Joseph Martinez. Records showed that Martinez had lived in the same Bronx apartment building as Minnie and her family in 1999. Detectives reviewing the original case files also discovered that he had been interviewed during the initial investigation, where he said he seen Minnie in the lobby getting mail and remembers her selling candy in November door to door, but was never considered a suspect. Investigators now needed confirmation. That's when they came up with a plan. An undercover detective posed as a parent interested in astronomy lessons for their kid and arranged a meeting with Martinez. After the meeting, detectives collected a drinking straw he had thrown away and submitted it for testing. The results came back as a direct match to the DNA found on Minnie's sweatshirt. On November 30th, 2021, Joseph Martinez was arrested and charged with murder. He pled not guilty. Prosecutors argued that the evidence, along with the results of the renewed investigation, clearly identified Martinez as the person responsible for Minnie's murder. Several months later, in March 2026, he was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. It's disturbing to think that for more than 22 years, this man was walking free and interacting with children while hiding what he had done to Minnie. Not only did he assault her, he tied her up and put her in a black trash bag. My heart goes out to Minnie and her family, who were forced to wait more than 22 years for justice. As for Jupiter Joe, he was truly a monster hiding behind a friendly public image, earning the trust of families while concealing a horrific crime. And his disturbing case now serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the people who seem the most trustworthy can be hiding the darkest secrets.
Bro, this shit is still smoking. Somebody's in here doing something. Look. What in the fuck is going on? Somebody was literally just in here. There's cigarettes. Fell in that water. Yo, that is nuts.
So many like weird, odd rooms like that down here. Not much left, that's for sure.